What's up and welcome to the Sixers Breakroom. We got the camera up and working again, folks, so you guys get to see my face. Many of you probably have never seen my face because this channel kind of blew up from that Boston Celtics breakdown when my camera wasn't working, but this is what I look like, folks, and this is the Sixers Breakroom. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a fun one because I am pissed off to the highest level of pistivity watching this team, and I'm going to lose my mind. This is going to be a double breakdown of why I think the Milwaukee Bucks are destined to win the Eastern Conference, especially now that Robert Williams is out for the Celtics, and why I think the Philadelphia 76ers are destined for disappointment and Doc Rivers is going to be fired this offseason. It's getting out of control. But first, let's talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks, their offense is so great to watch because there's not a lot of structure in the sense of play calls, but they run this 5-out or this 4-out, 1-in, just open motion offense where it's just read and react, pass and cut, and everybody on the floor around Giannis can shoot the ball, including their big man, Brook Lopez. So you're going to see here, you get a 5-out look, and Giannis is just going to take Thibault one-on-one. He's going to draw this help from Joel Embiid. And I got a lot to say about Joel Embiid, but you're going to see it draws Joel Embiid here in on the help, which is really our kryptonite because when you have a 5 that can shoot like Brook Lopez can, you've drawn all that attention to get Joel Embiid inside. You get a kick out to Brook Lopez, who gets a wide open 3. In this next clip here, you're going to see the #1 issue that the Philadelphia 76ers continue to have. And it's something that we've known that they've had, and clearly they're not getting better at, which means they're not working on it, but it's transition defense. You get a stop here, and when you can get Giannis out in transition with a full head of steam, I mean, the biggest problem here, if we bring this back just a little bit, the biggest problem here is he's almost at the three-point line before anybody has even remotely tried to stop the ball. No one has even remotely tried to stop the ball. You're going to wait until Giannis gets all the way to the free throw line before there's any kind of resistance. That is a bucket 100 times out of 100. Giannis, I'm bigger than you. I'm better than you. I'm stronger than you. I'm going to go get a bucket. The Milwaukee Bucks do a great job of generating easy offense. Here we have their 4-out, 1-in look again. For those of you who don't know, when I say 4-out, 1-in, what I mean is you'll typically have 4 guys out on the perimeter and you'll have 1 player inside in the post. Now, it could be Brook Lopez. A lot of times they'll put Giannis down there because Giannis is a mismatch, right? You create all this space. You create these gaps in the help defense, forcing an overhelp from Thibault if Joel Embiid gets beat off the dribble, which in this case, you're going to see that he does. So because of the spacing here, when Thibault is forced to drop in and help, you now have created a wide open shot in the corner, especially when Thibault gambles there. You get a shot from Chris Middleton, and he's going to knock that shot down more times than he won't. He's a great shooter. Once again here, we're going to see the Milwaukee Bucks get out in transition. I don't think the Milwaukee Bucks get enough credit for the way that they get stops, force turnovers, bad shots, and then they just get out and run on the other end. You got the collapse on Joe, and then we're off to the races. And what makes this so deadly is with the Milwaukee Bucks, you got Giannis, right, with the ball, who's unstoppable, and then you have shooter, right? He's essentially playing the 5 spot in this lineup. And if you have 4 shooters surrounding Giannis on a break, you have stuff like this happens. Giannis is going to drive down the center. Look at the space they create. Right, Drew Holiday space in the floor, Grayson Allen running to the corner. You have Bobby Portis running towards the corner, and that leaves this wide open space right in the middle of the floor for Giannis to just give it up, give and go right to the basket, lob city, bang. Here we go again. We get another bad shot, and we're off. With this lineup, once again, you have Bobby Portis shooter, you got Grayson Allen shooter, you got Drew Holiday shooter, you got what's his name? Pat Connaughton, is that his name? Shooter. Right, all of these guys who can shoot the ball, and then you got the Greek Freak running down the lane. Once again, when are the Philadelphia Sixers going to stop the basketball? They don't offer any resistance until he gets to the top of the key. At that point, you've allowed the shooter to set up. That's a wide open drive and kick opportunity. It's a corner 3. You know how it goes on this channel. We've told you the corner 3 is the most popular 3 in the NBA. Bang. We've talked about how important it is in the postseason to have a guy that can go get a bucket. The Milwaukee Bucks won the championship last year. We know they have guys that can go get you a bucket. But one thing that I want to show here is if you don't help, right? And this is what makes the Milwaukee Bucks so deadly when you have 4 shooters around Giannis. Because if you do not help because you're worried about the shooters, he's just going to big body you. I mean, he made Niang look like a point guard. Look like he was 180 pounds the way he just bounces off his body. And truthfully, Danny Green, I mean, if you're going to go. If you're not, don't. But being stuck in no man's land here, you're not really doing anybody any good because he really could have kicked this out for a wide open corner 3. In this case, Giannis just says, you know what? I'm bigger, stronger, better. Let me go get this one on my own. And he dunked it on Joel Embiid. I would like to point out that dunk on Joel Embiid because Joel Embiid in the post-game press conference had the nerve to criticize, right, the fact that he felt like the game kind of got away from them when he was off the floor. And when his minutes were staggered with Giannis and he wasn't able to be in help defense and all that stuff. Well, let's take a look at this play, Joe, because last I checked, after he bodies Niang, isn't this you, Joel Embiid, who's getting dunked on right here? You want to criticize the fact that it's because you weren't on the floor. My guy, you're on the floor right now. You're getting dunked on your head. On this possession, we get that 4-out, 1 in again, right? You got Middleton, George Hill, Grayson Allen, but you got 4 on the perimeter, and this time Giannis is the guy inside. So they will exchange who is the guy playing in the post. When it's Giannis and you have 4 shooters surrounding him, you're going to see here that he gets the ball in that mid-post area, right? Niang helps a little bit at first, but then he backs off because he knows I don't want to give up this corner 3. And you can see he's drawing a lot of attention, but they're too worried. They don't want to overhelp because they don't want to give up a 3. And Giannis, credit to Giannis, he's improved his game so much that he's able to hit this fadeaway shot right here from the mid-post, something he couldn't do a couple years ago. Why is Paul Millsap in the game? Paul Millsap can't guard an orange cone in practice, and now we put him on Giannis. I've read some on Twitter that say Giannis has 17 points in the 2 minutes that he was guarded by Paul Millsap. That is ridiculous. That's ass of 9, ass of 10, and ass of 11. I don't know how that happens. Paul Millsap should never be in the game guarding Giannis. Another possession here from the Milwaukee Bucks. You're gonna have that 4 out, so you have 1, 2, 3, and then you have the guy trailing down here. He would be the 4th with Giannis down here in the post. Again, one thing that I like about the Milwaukee Bucks and what actually makes it tough to play against the Milwaukee Bucks is because they're running a 4 out, sometimes 5 out, just pass, cut, read, and react offense. You can't really scout it like you can't really say like this is what they're going to do because they just play basketball, and what they're going to do is kind of dictated by what you're doing defensively and what's open, right? Like they take what you give them. So here you're going to have Wes Matthews, who's going to give a little shot fake because he is a good shooter, gets Thibault off his feet. I'm just going to drive middle, right? As a coach, I tell my guys, if you let them drive middle, if you let them in here, that's your house. You can't let them middle, and this is why. Once he drives middle, it forces a help from Toby, right? Toby has to step up here or it's going to be a layup. But the problem is you got Giannis behind you. So either way, once you step up, even a second, that's all he needs to make that pass to Giannis. And then Giannis is going to go dunk on somebody. Here we have more 4 out, 1 in basketball. This time you got Chris Middleton, who feels like he has a mismatch, so he's going to start posting up. It's not really any play call here. It's just let's play basketball. And this is what happens when you do overhelp on Giannis. Giannis has improved his jump shot, but not so much that we need to have 2 guys kind of flying out at him like that because he's going to blow right by you. The whole defense collapses, and he really has his option of shooters here, but he's going to go to Grayson Allen in the corner because corner 3s are more valuable, and bang, we get that shot. I would like to point out on this possession here, who is once again in the game? Joel Embiid, one-on-one with Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez bodies you, and he goes to get a bucket. That's on you, Joel Embiid, and 1. So how was it because that you weren't in the game? Oh, my God. Yo, I'm a Sixers fan. You guys know I'm a Sixers fan. This is the Sixers Breakroom. So you know I'm not just picking on them because I don't like them. Here, they actually run a set here. They actually run a little horn set, the Milwaukee Bucks. If we take that back a little bit, you'll see horn set, meaning we have 2 guys at the elbows. You got corner, ball handler at the top. As we run through this clip, you're going to see Drew Holiday is going to use the screen from Giannis. Wes Matthews is coming over, kind of overloading the side a little bit. I'm not really sure why. I think he kind of misread what was going on there. He really should have stayed spacing because when Wes Matthews decides to start that cut and now he's in the middle of the lane, well, Giannis's role is no longer going to be open because you have Tyrese Maxey here. And Drew Holiday, you can see his eyes. He's looking right at Tyrese Maxey. He's trying to determine what's this guy going to do. If he's not there, if he stays out here, you got to dunk to Giannis, which you're going to see later in these clips. But he sees that that's not open. Look, he's still looking. He's looking. He's looking. It's not there. Let me kick it out to the corner. And Joel Embiid, wide open three. Not wide open three, but not very well contested three either. Brook Lopez hits those. Here we have a set from the Milwaukee Bucks. Again, they don't need to run a ton of sets because they have smart, skilled basketball players, so they can go 4 out, they can go 5 out and just play. But here you do have a little bit of a set here where you have Giannis kind of setting a little down screen for Chris Middleton to come over the top. And it's kind of like a screening the screener action, right? So he's going to go screen for Chris Middleton, who's going to then work up into this screen on James Harden. What this is going to do, and I'll slow it down here, what this does is when Chris Middleton is coming up and Tobias Harris has to kind of work through this traffic here just a little bit, right? It's just enough that now when he's going to set this screen, first of all, Tobias Harris is in a bad spot, right? Tobias Harris was playing it as if he thought Chris Middleton was just going to clear through. But now that Chris Middleton is setting a screen, Tobias Harris needs to be here, right? He needs to be there helping at least a little bit, giving James Harden a chance to go over the top. He doesn't. And what that forces is Niang to be the guy to now slide over and help, right? Niang sees that Toby's not there. If I don't step up, Drew Holiday is going to drive this, right? So Niang decides to be the guy to step up and try to stop a drive, and that allows Giannis to roll. Now, the last time we saw a similar set that looked like this is when Wes Matthews had cut in, and then you had to help. Tyrese Maxey was right here in the middle, and it was taking away the roll. So this time with Wes Matthews staying out wide into the corner, you get Maxey out of the play, out of the paint, and now you're able to hit this roll man, Giannis, wide open for easy alley-oop, easy 2. This next clip here is the perfect example of why the Milwaukee Bucks can go 4 out and can go 5 out and not run sets because they're just smart, skilled basketball players. Take a look. I want you guys to really focus on Chris Middleton here. Watch what Chris Middleton does as this play develops. Watch what Chris Middleton does. Wes Matthews is actually about to run up and fill this space right here. Right? He's ready to come up and fill this space so that they can be in their 4 out, right? He would be here, Giannis, Drew, Brook, with Middleton in the dead spot. And Chris Middleton pulls him back. He grabs him here. Chris Middleton does that because he knows Giannis against Niang is a mismatch. And if Wes Matthews fills this spot here, well then naturally Tyrese Maxey is going to be in this area, right? He's going to be in that lane. So on any kind of Giannis drive, Tyrese Maxey would be here to be able to plug it and force a kick out. What does Chris Middleton do? Chris Middleton grabs him. He says, nah, chill. Like, stay back here. And what does that do? That forces Tyrese Maxey to slide down as well. Now he's out of help. And where does Giannis go? Giannis makes a move right to where Tyrese Maxey would have been if Wes Matthews finished that cut. Right? Like, just high IQ players on the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's look at it in full speed. Like, that changed everything. That changed that whole possession for them. Now, if I could just hold y'all's attention for about 3 more minutes, this is why I am so mad. This is why I'm so fed up with Doc Rivers. I'm on the record. You can go back and watch my videos. I don't think Doc Rivers is a bad coach. I think he's an expert motivator. He gets buy-in, but his X's and O's are just they're terrible. So down 1, we actually called timeout with 29 seconds left here in the game, if I remember correctly, right? Down 1. And we had James Harden go pick and roll. I can't bring the clip back any further than this, but you had a James Harden, Joel Embiid pick and pop, right? It happened right over here in this wing area. Joel Embiid popped and he caught it at the top of the key. Okay, so Joel Embiid catches the ball. And then this is how the rest of the play develops. Dribble, go to the wing. I got one-on-one with Drew Holiday. I'm going to try to make a move, turn around, and I'm going to miss the jump shot. Now, what makes me so mad is, why did you call timeout with 29 seconds left to draw up a pick and roll or a pick and pop. You don't need, like, you called a timeout with less than 30 seconds left to go into the huddle to say, hey, guys, our two best players are just going to go pick and pop. Everybody else go stand on the opposite side. They couldn't just do that on their own. We couldn't save that timeout. We could have had the same possession without using a timeout. It's a waste of a timeout. We never look good coming out of timeouts, and that's on the coach. It gets worse, y'all, because we intentionally foul. They make one, they miss one. So now we're down 2. We call timeout to advance the ball. We do what out of the timeout? None. There's no way we go pick and roll again, right? There's no way we have nothing yet again. No, that's exactly what happened. Once again, Doc Rivers has nothing in the bag. We go high pick and roll with Joel Embiid and James Harden. What are you doing, Doc? Now, listen, I get it. This time you have to call timeout. You have to advance the basketball. But how in your 20, 30 years of coaching in a late game situation when you have 4 guys on the floor who are certified buckets, James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, and then Niang who can shoot, how is what you come up with a pick and roll? I don't understand. I don't understand it. And you get a switch, great. You get a great switch. You get James Harden on Brook Lopez. This is what we wanted. This is what we wanted. That sounds good, but it's like, bro, you need to come out of a timeout and be able to get a layup or be able to get a good look. James Harden on Brook Lopez isn't guaranteed to give you a good look because you know he's probably just going to take a step back 3. And sure enough, that's what he does. Is that the worst shot in the world? No, it's not the worst shot in the world, but we didn't need a timeout to get that shot. And then here, this is going to be the last part of my rant because Joel Embiid had the nerve to criticize anybody for this loss. Are you kidding me? Joel Embiid gets this offensive rebound right here, and look what the man does with it. He goes up with a soft layup and gets blocked, and you got the nerve to blame anybody. Dunk the bat. You're 7'2", 280 pounds. Dunk the basketball. I don't want to hear you were off balance. Take a power dribble and go get a dunk. But you sat there in front of cameras and you said you felt like it was because you weren't on the floor at the same time Giannis was on the floor. Well, last I checked, we saw a clip when Giannis dunked on you. And here you had a chance to return the favor to tie the game, and you go up with this little layup. And guess who blocked it? And look who blocks it. Man, listen, this is supposed to be a Milwaukee Bucks breakdown of the film because the Milwaukee Bucks, they are dangerous. They are scary. I think people are sleeping on them. I think there's something about winning a title that you kind of go through the regular season, not chilling, but you know what it takes. Let's just get to the postseason and then let's just do what it takes. The Milwaukee Bucks are serious. The Milwaukee Bucks are serious. Before Robert Williams got hurt, I thought that the Celtics might actually be the team to beat based off of the product they were putting on the floor. I said at the time that technically I would say the Bucks are still the team to beat because you got to beat the champ if you want to beat a champ. But without Robert Williams on the Celtics and the way that the Milwaukee Bucks just went out and beat Philly in Philly with Giannis getting 40, I mean, this team right here might go and win a back-to-back championship. And I apologize for coming on here on an earlier video and saying Joel Embiid was the MVP because he's not. Joel Embiid is not the MVP of the league when he went up against Jokic and lost, and then went up against Giannis and lost again both games at home. Joel Embiid, you're not the MVP. Doc Rivers, you might not be the coach for this team. And the Milwaukee Bucks are pretty damn good, and they got all the pieces they need. The way they play 4 out and 5 out, and you cannot scout it because it's just read and react, pass and cut. They don't need to run sets because they have such skilled players and such smart IQ players, as you can see from Chris Middleton pulling Wes Matthews back so that he wouldn't make a cut just to draw another help defender. Like, the way they're playing is on another level. It's on another level. The Boston Celtics are on another level in the sense that they can execute, and their X's and O's are so great, and they're great at them. The Milwaukee Bucks are on another level because they don't need X's and O's. They can just go play and outplay you and get out in transition. But what do you guys think, man? Let me know in the comment section below. Do you view this Milwaukee Bucks team as the team to beat? Do you think they're coming out of the Eastern Conference? Do you think it's somebody else? I'll tell you who it's probably not going to be, the Philadelphia 76ers. But if you think it's going to be them, hey, I need some positivity right now, Sixers fans. You guys know me. You know I'm a Sixers fan. I don't want to hate on them like this, but I got to keep it real. Some people keep it realistic. I keep it real. You know what I mean? So those are my thoughts. If you like the video, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next one. Sixers Breakroom. Peace.